The biggest secret about Marco Aurelio that no one has told you. He was a master of love and seduction. Everyone knows him as the Stoic philosopher emperor, the embodiment of wisdom and restraint. But what if I told you that Marco Aurelio had a secret weapon, a Stoic playbook that made him irresistible in the realm of love? Stay tuned, because today we're unraveling the hidden tactics of how Marco Aurelio used the principles of Stoicism to become a true playboy of his time. All right, I get it. Marco Aurelio and playboy in the same sentence. Sounds like a contradiction, right? But stick with me here. By the end of this video, you'll see that the same principles Marco Aurelio used to lead an empire are exactly what made him a master in the art of love and relationships. Whether you're looking to deepen a current relationship or make a lasting first impression, Stoicism has more to offer than you might think. Let's dive deep into how this ancient philosophy can transform your love life into something legendary. Section 1. Stoicism, the unexpected path to love. When people think of Stoicism, they often picture someone who's emotionally detached, always calm, and seemingly indifferent to the highs and lows of life. But that's not the full picture. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about understanding them and choosing how to respond. It's about mastering your inner world so that you can interact with the outer world, including love, with clarity and purpose. Now, let's talk about love. To the Stoics, love wasn't just an emotion, it was a complex mix of choice, virtue, and rationality. While modern views often depict love as something that happens to us, the Stoics saw it as something we actively cultivate. Marco Aurelio, as one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, didn't shy away from love. Instead, he approached it with the same discipline and wisdom that he applied to every other area of his life. Interjection. Think about it. What if love wasn't just about finding the right person, but about becoming the right person? What if the key to irresistible attraction isn't just about chemistry, but about character? Section 2. The Stoic Playbook. How Marco Aurelio mastered the game of love. So, how did Marco Aurelio, a man whose name is synonymous with Stoic virtue, manage to navigate the often turbulent waters of love and relationships? It's simple, really. He followed the Stoic principles of focusing on what you can control, cultivating virtue, and living in accordance with nature. But what does this mean in practice? Let's break it down. Focus on what you can control. Marco understood that in love, as in life, you can't control everything. You can't control another person's feelings, actions, or even their attraction to you. But what you can control is how you present yourself, how you communicate, and how you respond to challenges. By focusing on his own actions and mindset, Marco made sure that he was always in a position of strength emotionally, mentally, and even romantically. Cultivate virtue. For Marco, being virtuous wasn't just about being good, it was about being the best version of himself. In relationships, this meant being honest, trustworthy, and kind. It meant treating others with respect and dignity, even when things didn't go his way. This commitment to virtue made Marco not just a good partner, but an irresistible one. Live in accordance with nature. The Stoics believed that living in harmony with nature meant living in accordance with your true self and your place in the world. For Marco, this meant understanding that love isn't about possession or control, but about connection and mutual growth. It's about recognizing that every person is their own individual, and the best relationships are those where both partners are free to be themselves. Interjection. And here's the kicker: by focusing on these principles, Marco wasn't just a great partner, he was someone who others naturally gravitated towards. Why? Because people are drawn to authenticity, to strength, and to those who make them feel valued. Section 3. The power of virtue, why it makes you irresistible. Let's talk more about this idea of virtue, because it's really the cornerstone of the Stoic approach to love. To the Stoics, virtue wasn't just about moral goodness, it was about excellence in all things. It was about being the best version of yourself, not just for your own sake, but for the sake of those around you. In the context of love and relationships, this meant that Marco Aurelio wasn't just a passive participant, he was an active cultivator of love. He didn't wait for the perfect partner to come along. Instead, he focused on becoming the kind of person who could create and sustain deep, meaningful connections. Imagine this: you meet someone who is confident but not arrogant, kind but not a pushover, intelligent but not condescending. They listen when you speak, they're thoughtful in their responses, and they make you feel seen and appreciated. That's the power of virtue in action. And that's exactly what made Marco so successful in his relationships. Interjection. Have you ever met someone who just had that it factor, that intangible quality that made them stand out from the crowd? 9 times out of 10, that's virtue shining through. It's not about looks or charm, it's about character. Section 4. Stoic strategies for modern love. Applying the wisdom today. Now, I know what you're thinking: this all sounds great, but how do I actually apply these Stoic principles in today's world of swipes, likes, and texts? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are some practical ways to bring a little Stoic wisdom into your love life. Mind your reactions. In any relationship, there will be moments of tension, disagreement, or even hurt. The Stoic approach here is to pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? This simple shift can turn potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. Practice gratitude. One of the things Marco Aurelio did every day was reflect on what he was grateful for. In a relationship, this means appreciating your partner for who they are, rather than focusing on what they're not. When you approach love with gratitude, you're more likely to see the good, even in difficult times. Focus on virtue over appearance. In a world obsessed with physical attraction, the Stoic approach reminds us to look deeper. Yes, attraction is important, but it's the qualities like honesty, kindness, and wisdom that truly make a relationship last. When you focus on these virtues in yourself and others, you're building a foundation for a love that can withstand the test of time. Embrace impermanence. The Stoics were big on the idea that everything in life is temporary, including love. This isn't meant to be depressing, it's meant to remind us to cherish the moments we have. When you accept that love, like everything else, is fleeting, you're more likely to appreciate it for what it is, rather than clinging to what you want it to be. Interjection. Isn't it fascinating how a philosophy from ancient Rome can still be so relevant today? It just goes to show that some truths really are timeless. Section 5. The Stoic Blueprint for Seduction. Going deeper. All right, we've covered the basics, but let's get into the nitty-gritty, the Stoic Blueprint for Seduction. And no, I'm not talking about manipulation or playing games. Stoic seduction is about authenticity, confidence, and creating a connection that's based on mutual respect and understanding. Be authentic. One of the biggest turn-offs in any relationship is inauthenticity. People can sense when you're not being true to yourself, and it creates a barrier to connection. The Stoic approach is to be yourself, unapologetically. Don't try to be what you think the other person wants. Be who you are, and let the right people be drawn to you. Show confidence without ego. Confidence is attractive, but there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. The Stoics taught that true confidence comes from within. It's about knowing your worth without needing to prove it to anyone else. When you walk into a room, walk in with the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are. This quiet confidence is magnetic. Create deep connections. Surface-level attraction fades, but deep connections last. The Stoic approach to love is to focus on creating connections that go beyond the physical. Engage in meaningful conversations. Show genuine interest in the other person's thoughts and feelings, and be present in the moment. This kind of connection is what turns a spark into a flame. Respect boundaries. In any relationship, it's important to respect both your own boundaries and those of the other person. The Stoics were all about moderation and balance, knowing when to push forward and when to step back. This respect for boundaries creates a relationship that's built on trust and mutual respect. Interjection. Imagine how different the dating world would be if everyone approached love with this level of thoughtfulness and respect. It might just be the key to turning those first dates into lasting partnerships. Section 6. Lessons from Marco Aurelio's love life. What we can learn. Marco Aurelio's love life wasn't without its challenges. Like anyone, he faced the ups and downs that come with any relationship. But what set him apart was his ability to navigate these challenges with grace and wisdom. For Marco, love wasn't about perfection, it was about growth. He understood that every relationship is an opportunity to learn, to become better, and to deepen your understanding of yourself and others. Whether it was dealing with the stresses of ruling an empire or the personal struggles that come with being in the public eye, Marco applied his Stoic principles to stay grounded and connected. One of the biggest lessons we can learn from Marco Aurelio is the importance of resilience in love. Relationships will face storms, but it's how you weather those storms that determines their strength. By applying Stoic principles, focusing on what you can control, practicing virtue, and living in accordance with nature, you can create a love that not only survives but thrives. Interjection. And that, my friends, is the ultimate Stoic love story, one that's built on a foundation of wisdom, strength, and mutual respect. So what can we take away from all this? Marco Aurelio wasn't just a philosopher and emperor, he was a master of love. Not because he followed some secret playbook, but because he lived by the Stoic principles that made him a better person and partner. If you want to bring a little of that Stoic magic into your own love life, remember, it's not about playing games or putting on a show. It's about being authentic, focusing on what you can control, and building a connection that's based on mutual respect and understanding. In the end, the true power of Stoic love isn't in the grand gestures or the romantic ideals, it's in the everyday moments of kindness, patience, and virtue. And that's something we can all aspire to, whether we're navigating the early stages of a relationship or deepening a lifelong partnership. And there you have it, Marco Aurelio's Stoic Guide to Love and Seduction. If you found this insightful, drop a comment below and let me know which Stoic principle you're going to start applying today. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing content, and share this video with someone who could use a little Stoic wisdom in their love life.